Good day. Today we will discuss definition of effective communication, importance of safety communication, and communication process. What is effective communication? Communication is the process of sharing information, thoughts, and feelings between people through speaking, writing, or body language. Effective communication extends the concept to require that transmitted content is received and understood by someone in the way it was intended. The goals of effective communication includes creating a common perception, changing behaviors, and acquiring information. Why is communication so important to a safety program? Through a coordinated two-way safety communication program, employees are made aware of safety practices, safety rules, and concerns. Their attitude and awareness towards safety improves. Also, two-way communication keeps management informed of the committee's activities and safety priorities. Good communication also helps the committee understand its authority and helps management work safety into policies and procedures. A communication plan is a written document that describes to whom your communication will be addressed, what you want to accomplish with your organization communication, the ways of those objectives can be accomplished, how will you accomplish your objectives, and how will you measure the results of your program. The questions that you need to think about from the receiver's points of view are who make up the audience. Take some time to think about your audience, the people you are communicating to. Next is how do they prefer to receive the messages? Another question is what are the literacy of the audience? Lastly, what's in it for them? Communication process contains sender of the message, recipient of the message, and the intervening static or noise to the means of communication. At its most basic level, communication is the exchange of ideas and feelings between people, and the process goes like this. First, the sender has the idea and the thought. The sender encodes the idea as a message in a clear, direct way that allows the receiver to correctly decode the message. Then the sender transmits the message through a channel. Then the audience or the receiver decodes the message. This is the essential component of effective communication as it requires the receiver to ensure that he or she properly heard and understood the message, despite of the noise or static to the means of communication. Lastly, the audience provides feedback to the sender. If we have people with experience, the right attitude, skills, and perception, will there be a need for effective communication? In a communication process, both the sender and the receiver have levels of experience, attitude, skills, and perception. The sender, however, may take certain things for granted and not thoroughly deliver the intended message. Your communication process needs to consider the message medium. Like, for example, the non-face-to-face messages in mediums such as emails, which allows too much leeway for the receiver to make mistake to the intended message. It is essential to address and remove any barriers to effective communication, such as lengthy or disorganized messages or offering too much information at one time. Allow time for more succinct and direct message delivery. Cultural competency and the ability to deliver message to different types of people will also aid in communicating messages effectively. Remember, the exchange of ideas or feelings consists of 55% body language, 38% voice tone, and 7% verbal. In a communication process, input and feedback are also based on a variety of issues. Input is based on the personality or style of the sender and receiver, the view of each has of others and of themselves, communication skills or lack thereof. Feedback may be compromised by climate within which message is received. It's the perceptions of the events, practices, and procedures and the kind of behaviors that gets rewarded, supported, and expected in the workplace, the complainant's behavior, and how well the recipients handle feedback. In communication, we have four realities. Number one, communication is the main way we exchange ideas, needs, and beliefs and get things done. Miscommunication is more prevalent than good communication. Communication is more psychological than anything. How you say something accounts for 80% of the meaning and impact. And lastly, the best way to get good results in anything is to improve your style of communication. Why effective communication matters. Failure to communicate safety information effectively can have serious negative consequences, which includes incidents, injuries, and illness, lost workdays, reduced productivity and delays, risk-taking by employees, inability to comply with regulations, and higher workers' compensation and health insurance costs. On a typical workday, 14 people lose their life. Over a year, nearly 4 million people incur an injury that requires lost time. This does not include the pain and suffering the employee experiences. The National Council of Compensation Insurers estimates that as much as 40% of workers' compensation costs can be linked to how an employer communicates with and responds to workers' injuries. In safety communication, the main objective of any workplace safety communication program is to change behavior. Effective safety communication can create an environment where employees have an emotional commitment to the organization and its goals. How does a safety committee change attitudes towards safety or improve the way people work? Typically, the objective of safety communication is to get employees to stop something, which are unsafe acts, and start something by means of following policies and procedures. The Batari-Bax model shows the cyclic nature of who attitudes are affected. My attitude affects my behavior, which affects your attitude, which affects your behavior, which affects my attitude. We want such a mechanism to produce positive effects. Our attitude about anything comes out in our external behavioral displays. When a person does something or sends physical signals to another person, it has an effect on the person's attitude. If I act in an aggressive way towards you, you will interpret this in a certain way. Your attitude is subsequently affected by this, either because you are persuaded by my arguments or because you react to what you may perceive as unreasonable behavior by me, and the reverse is true. The A's of safety. The four A's of safety are in the left-hand column. The backup or reinforcement to the four A's are on the right. When a person exhibits the right attitude towards safety, therefore it acknowledges the behavior. When a person takes an interest in a safety awareness, then it assists them in developing it further. When a person works safely and assists in making the workplace safe, then it appreciates the person's effort. When a person is accountable for the manner in which they work, then this approves this person. Having safety culture, that means to say workplace safety communication should be directed at fostering positive workplace morale. Organizations with healthy safety cultures have more engaged employees. In developing safety culture, employees must have good mindset, good attitude. The safety messages must be designed into every aspect of the company and Having safety culture must be the company's vision. Some of the challenges to safety in the workplace includes attitudes or behaviors of the employees, communication which includes the noise, barriers, and distractions to delivering messages to the workers, competing priorities which includes productivity, sales, cost, etc., employee buy-in, getting workers to see the importance of the safety program, and lastly, creating awareness wherein employees who may not see the need for a safety programs requires education and training.